Most veterans leave the military with the discipline to push through pain, but what nobody tells you is that discipline without direction breaks you down. I wasted nearly a decade with back pain, knee pain, and depression, but today I can run pain free and deadlift again. In this video, I'm going to share 9 lessons I wish every veteran knew earlier so you can rebuild your body, sharpen your mind, and reclaim your strength and your health without burning out. So I'm Dr. Peralta, Marine Corps veteran, doctor of physical therapy, run coach, exercise physiologist, and I've helped hundreds of veterans, including everyday people, get back to running, rucking, and lifting pain-free. I'm living proof that you can go from broken and beat down to strong and athletic again. By the end of this video, you'll know the 9 most important lessons to rebuild your health so you can run faster, live stronger, and leave pain and depression in the past. So we're going to cover everything from strength training to recovery, mental health, sleep, and the fundamentals so that you can start applying it today. And stick around till the end because I'll share how you can get free access to my full running pain-free system for everyday folks and veterans. So lesson number 1, strength training is life insurance, right? It's one of the best life insurance policies. Muscle is vanity, it's armor, right? Stronger bodies resist injury, disease, decline. So think of listing as your retirement plan, right? So for too many veterans, when they retire, especially dealing with health issues, they may feel like they're broken, right? But the ones who keep strength training consistent with it, they stay resilient while they're on active duty or reserve, or even after service, after back into civilian life. If they stay consistent with strength training, if you had to pick like just one kind of thing to really focus on, strength training, and it doesn't have to be complicated, right? Just twice a week, you do a full body routine, you could do a split routine, you could do single set, multiple sets. If you're pressed for time, if you're a busy professional, you could get a full body single set routine in under 20 minutes. I do that. I follow that on a regular basis myself, working a full-time job and navigating all other things with life. So prioritize strength training. Lesson number 2, progression is greater than random workouts. See, random workouts equal random results. Progression, adding weights, reps, more sets, varying the type of exercise, make it more hard, more challenging, or changing the distance or the movement that you're doing, compounds like interest, right? So if you don't measure, you don't improve, right? If you don't assess, you're guessing. So oftentimes a common mistake is people will follow a routine and then don't make any meaningful changes to like improving in any of the movements. Or for example, let's take the squat or bench press, right? They're not doing anything to improve their squat, or they're not doing anything to improve their running speed, right? They're just staying the same month after month. You need to progressively make it more challenging in order to actually improve. And same thing even with body weight movements, right? Some people are like, oh, body weight doesn't do jack, right? Yeah, if you're just doing the same push-ups, you're not doing more push-ups, harder push-up variations, then you'll just hit a plateau. But if you want to keep challenging yourself, you can actually keep progressively challenge yourself even with calisthenics or body weight exercises. So in the Marines, every training cycle had a progression, right? You were building up, doing more miles on the rucks, doing more intense patrol simulations, urban combat training, etc. In civilian life, though, most vets just wing it, and that's why they plateau. Or they don't even train at all. They don't even try. At the very least, at least try to improve your fitness. And then once you're past the trying stage, then actually start tracking it and try to improve, try to get a little bit better month after month. Or like some people say, get it 1% better day after day, if possible. So lesson number 3, rehab beats surgery. So most knee pain, or a lot of orthopedic pain, even back pain, knee pain, ankle pain, hip pain, they don't need a scalpel. It just needs movement. I've done, as a physical therapist, almost 10 years, I've seen rehabbing thousands of people that majority of them with proper rehab can avoid surgery. And we're talking about lower body injuries, squats, lunging patterns, calf raises, etc. And then combining with mobility exercises are medicine that doctors rarely prescribe, right? Strength heals where surgery can't. And yes, there are some cases where you need surgery where it's a very severe injury, but for most cases that are more benign to moderate, they can more often than not, if you follow the rehab plan in 2 to 3 months, 3 months typically, they're pretty much healed if you follow the right plan, and depending on the nature of the injury. If it's like a broken bone or something, it might take a little longer to heal, but most injuries do heal. And I'm going to rephrase this because they include the broken bone category, 3 to 6 months to heal from most injuries. And if it's very severe, yes, surgery can be used in the most severe cases, but really try to choose physical therapy or rehab first before you jump to surgery. Lesson number 4, exercise heals the mind. Exercise rivals medication for depression and anxiety with fewer side effects. Exercise or is therapy. You don't necessarily have to sweat, but movement can be therapy, or exercise is medicine, exercise is therapy. Many vets and everyday people who I coach or help with rehab find that whether they go for a bike, a ruck, a run, a lift, can actually help reduce their stress, their anxiety and depression, even PTSD, more than just relying on medication or pills alone. I'm not saying you can never use those things, but also look into the alternatives that exercise can actually help. And in some cases, working with your doctor, you could be able to taper down. Obviously, talk to your doctor if you're already on psych meds, but it is possible to manage anxiety and depression with just exercise. I've done it myself dealing with depression, doing exercise. Boom, lowers the moods, those intrusive thoughts. I even had like suicidal thoughts, and just getting on a regular exercise routine makes a big difference. And again, exercise doesn't even have to be complicated, right? You could just go for a walk, run, etc. And now we're going to lesson number 5. 10 minutes works, right? You don't need to do 2 hours in the gym or 2 hours on the road, right? You could do just 10 minutes, can help lower your pain, can calm your nervous system down, help improve your mood. It could be as simple as a walk, 10-minute walk. Or if you don't want to go outside, you could just do a 10-minute bike ride, right? If you have a stationary bike or something. Or if you want to do bike outside or go for a run, right? The exact cardio modality doesn't matter too much. Just do something that you enjoy or it's easily accessible for you to do. Don't make it so hard like, oh, I need a gym to do this, right? Make it so there's no excuses to get it done. Consistency beats the duration. Right? Again, if you're consistent, it's better to be consistent with a 10-minute workout than just do a 2-hour workout once a month or something. I'd rather see someone do a 10-minute workout 3 times a week than wait once a month to do a 2-hour workout. Lesson number 6, breathe to heal. See, tight muscles often need breath, not gadgets. So many people who are dealing with pain, especially chronic pain conditions, have too much muscle guarding. They have too much tension around painful spots. So oftentimes they just have to learn how to relax the tissues around the painful area, and that will help them progress along the rehab process. When I find people who get stuck with rehab, let's say like, oh, physical therapy didn't work, is oftentimes they have way too much muscle guarding or tension. They're way too bound up. They just need to learn how to relax the tissues and just some focused breathing. So like, let's say you have back pain. You could just lay on your stomach, so do some deep breathing, right? You can turn your head to the side, do that 5 minutes of 3 to 5 minutes. Focused breathing can help relax the years of tension. If you had years of back pain, for example, even if you have like knee pain, you could just lay on your back with the legs slightly elevated, breathe for 5 minutes. Even the muscles around your knee can relax the tension. Like, calm your breath, you calm your pain. Or even with mood, if you're dealing with too much stress or worries, breathe, close your eyes, do slow breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing, same thing. It improves your mind, decreases your stress or your worries. So breathing is multi-functional. It's like a multi-purpose tool. It's like that Leatherman tool, right? You could use it for multiple functions. Lesson number 7. Sleep first, right? You got to sleep. So if you're dealing with pain, or you're trying to improve your performance, or you're like just how to recover better, forget ice baths, all these fancy gadgets or supplements. If you're sleeping 5 hours a night or less, right? Recovery starts and performance as well. Prioritize at least 7 hours a night for real rest, and try really schedule the same sleep and wake time, right? Don't vary it like, oh, one night go to sleep at midnight, another night go to sleep at 11 or 10, right? Try to be consistent, always go to bed at 10 p.m. and then wake up at 6 a.m., right? Or 7 a.m., right? Try to have the exact same sleep and wake time. You're consistent even on the weekends. Yes, every now and then you may have a social event or you may go out or whatever, but for the most part, really try to stay consistent, especially if you're trying to rehab from like a chronic pain condition or you're dealing with some mental health stuff. Sleep is going to help both pain, performance, mental health, etc. Lesson number 8, the 4 pillars of health. So kind of touched upon this briefly, but it's going to be sleep, right? Prioritize sleep first, exercise, nutrition, and community. Miss any one of these and the system crumbles. See, a lot of veterans, when they get out, they miss that community aspect. Sure, they may sleep, they may do some exercise, they may eat pretty well from time to time, but oftentimes they're missing the brotherhood. And brotherhood or community can be medicine. And if you're a woman, sisterhood, right? Too many vets lose their community after service. And that's why training with a squad uh, joining a fitness group or a club, whether it's through your church, through prayer, or through exercise, right? Joining a run club or a lifting club or martial arts, training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Community matters, right? Having that brotherhood, that sisterhood, having a support group that you can rely on. It's even better when you could train together. I'm a fan of training together. That just kind of builds a camaraderie. Instead of just, sometimes people have their friends from the veteran community or just friends in general, but they're socializing just drinking, right? Instead of just drinking alcohol as you're socializing, oh, let's have drinks. Not saying you can't have a drink with your friend, but also train, right? Do something that non-drinking related, right? Go for a ruck and then enjoy a beer afterwards if you like to drink. But try to drink in moderation as well. I know, unfortunately, too many in the veteran community binge drink. I used to be guilty of this myself, binge drinking. So really try to drink in moderation. Not saying every once in a while you can drink a little bit more, but really try to limit it. And then when you're socializing with your brotherhood or your sisterhood, do exercise or some types of activities that don't involve drinking. Right, go for a group run, a group ruck. And so, lesson number 9, back to the basics. The best exercise for lifelong strength are still the class. So many people overcomplicate strength training. Like, oh, I don't know what strength exercise to do. I like to borrow from the lifting community, right? Just squatting, deadlifting, and then some type of pressing movement, right? You can even do, if you don't want to go to the gym and do bench presses or overhead press, you can just simply do push-ups. Or pull-ups. So at home, you got a kettlebell, dumbbells, do squats with, you can do squats with body weight, of course, but you can also hold dumbbells, kettlebells, right? Do that. Push-ups or presses with, kettlebell. Boom, just 3 to 4 exercises for strength training, and you're pretty much good to go. And then pull-ups. I might have a bar. In most places, even I live in a New York City apartment, I can install a pull-up bar right on my bathroom door, boom, and do a set of pull-ups every time I just go pass through the bathroom. And then there you go. You can work on your pulling strength. You can do push-ups, squats, and deadlifts. Those are like the 4 kind of core exercises you could do. You don't need to get super fancy, super technical. Yes, there's variations out there. You could definitely vary the sets and reps or the exercise selection. But for the most part, you don't have to overcomplicate it. Fancy, oftentimes it doesn't beat just fundamentals, right? You don't have to do all these, stand on a Bosu ball, stand on a single leg and squat and, juggle while you're doing it. You don't have to do all these fancy things. See, these are the same movements. Most veterans already know this, right? During their calisthenics, right? When you're, as a former Marine, when I was in boot camp, right, doing squats, push-ups, pull-ups, etc., running, all these exercises, very basic, and you don't need fancy gym equipment. And anytime we had weights, it was pretty much portable weights that you could use, right? Like cinder blocks, etc., a car battery block, or you just buy dumbbells, right? You can stay strong with decades with just the basics. So summary. Strength is insurance, progression wins, rehab beats surgery, exercise can help heal the mind, 10 minutes works, right? You have to do very long workouts, breathe to heal, sleep first. Remember the 4 pillars of, health, right? Including this community social aspect, right? Don't forget your brotherhood or sisterhood. Back to the basics, right? When it comes to strength training, just stick to the basics and you'll be guaranteed to win if you just follow this, right? Do this, if you've tried stuff in the past, just stay consistent and do it for 3 months, do it for 6 months. After a year, you'll make a tremendous transformation. So veterans, if back pain, knee pain, or depression has been holding you back, it doesn't have to anymore. You could watch my free training on running pain free, where I show you the exact system I use with veterans to get back to running, rucking, and lifting without pain. Link in the description. And don't forget to subscribe for more strategies on running faster, building strength, and reclaiming your health as a veteran.